Amy, girl, you don't know what that man did in his past. See, that's why this person who just wrote that comment.
But God knows what you've done in your past.
I'm gonna say it. That's why this person who wrote that comment will never get blessed like they supposed to.
Ever.
They talking about something, my past.
Ever.
Everybody in the world got a past. But guess what? When you get into a relationship with somebody, you don't bring the past in the relationship. The past is the past for a reason. Somebody like you will be stuck in the past for the rest of your life. And you won't get the benefits and the blessings that you're supposed to get. Because you're worried about somewhere else, and you worried about the past too much. Let it go. Whatever happened to me in 2024, it ain't coming with me in 2025. Whatever happened in 2023, it didn't come with me in 2024. Move along.
Now imagine something over a decade ago.
Why would I keep something with me for over a decade ago? I'm not.
Royce Reed made a lot of claims against Superman, aka her baby daddy, basically saying that he forced himself on her and also he forced her to perform fellatio. And she said that, she felt helpless and she couldn't really do anything, and she felt like nobody would believe her, and if she called the popos or the police, they wouldn't believe her, because she said everybody in Miami hated her because of him, and she wasn't well liked at all. So she just felt like she had to take it and endure it for the time that she got back together with him, which is really horrible. In any event, when it comes to Dwight Howard, he's doing his thing. We do know that he is bisexual, so that would be a no for me for his past. What's up? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Let's get down to the situation. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Royce Reed. And also, we know Dwayne Howard and Amy Lucy is getting married. You know Amy from Love and Hip Hop. She's been trying her best to come up in this industry and basically have a storyline. And she wants to be the it factor. She's just trying to grow herself in Hollywood. And it seems like she has attached herself to another man, and she's engaged to Dwayne Howard, y'all. She was, claiming Scrappy. Then she was claiming Chaotic. Then she had her other boyfriend on. Now she got Dwayne Howard. She got a storyline she's in. Okay? But in any event, let's get into this whole situation. So, apparently, Royce Reed from Basketball Wife, recently went off. I don't know if it has to do with anything with, Dwight Howard getting engaged to Amy or whatever the case may be. But in any event, she recently saw Dwight Howard, and he was in an interview, and he was talking about he pays $13,000 a month in child support, and she says where, how, and when, and basically she's accusing him of lying, even though Dwight Howard and Amy has reached out to Royce to say, I hope everything goes well with you, posting messages to her on Instagram and social media, just wishing her the best or whatever the case may be. But in any event, if you check out Royce on TikTok, she has a series called Superman. Okay, Superman. I don't know if she's talking about Dwight Howard, but she's talking about the day her life changed when she conceived her child, her son, and how everything went downhill. And she's explaining a lot of that situation, and it's really like, OMG, I can't believe that this young lady was going through that at the time by herself. But she basically says that she got pregnant on purpose, not that she wanted to get pregnant. She's saying that her baby father impregnated her on purpose, and he usually do the pull-out method, and he didn't this time. And he was like, everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be good. But then she realized that he wasn't really there for her, and she wanted to have a procedure done because she was a cheerleader, she was a dancer, for the Miami team or whatever the case may be. And her father convinced her not to, so she didn't. And then she said that she started receiving threatening messages on Twitter and on MySpace. So this is a long time ago. And basically they was trying to convince her to have a procedure, but she didn't want to because her father convinced her that, God wanted her to have this child. In any event, She said that she was called into the office, where she cheerleads at with the Miami Heat team or whatever the case may be, whatever team that he was on or whatever. They called her in the office and they asked her to, take a pregnancy test, take a fraternity test, because they didn't believe that she was pregnant. They thought that she was lying and everything, okay? But in any event, she didn't do it because she didn't trust them, just like, Colin Kaepernick didn't trust the NFL at one point in time when they wanted to do tests on him or whatever the case may be. But in any event, she felt like she was being treated really bad, and throughout her pregnancy, she was feeling a lot of pain. She was going through a lot. Everything was hurt, and she was going to the hospital. They were telling her nothing's wrong with her. Go home and go to sleep. But then, she ended up going into labor and things of that nature. And she said she was really treated bad by the doctors and the nurses, and she was all alone, and she didn't have anybody there to help her. She didn't have anybody there to support her. So yes, she was going through it, child. So this young lady was going through a lot, throughout her pregnancy, and it wasn't an easy pregnancy at all. She had to stay in the hospital for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, things of that nature. And also she's saying that her baby father, aka Superman, was nowhere around. He wasn't active. And then it was around Christmas time, then he came through with some gifts and things of that nature. And then they did the DNA test, at a different location, and come to find out, the son was his. It was his child and things of that nature. So he came back a week later saying that he wanted to buy her house. He wanted to buy her a car. He wanted to furnish her townhouse and things of that nature. But she didn't take the house because it was going to be in his name. The car was going to be in his name. Everything was going to be in his name. And that wouldn't suffice because, anytime he wanted to take it or throw her out, it could happen. So he said, well, you know what? Let me furnish your apartment. And she said that she didn't have a choice in the furniture in the apartment and things of that nature. And basically, she was just saying that he got to take over spirit. But then she gets down to the ugly and the nitty gritty and basically saying that she didn't have diapers. She didn't have milk. She had to beg for it. And he didn't provide it. Maybe his mother did once, because at one point in time, she wasn't able to breastfeed anymore. So she was really having a hard time, and she wasn't able to work or dance or do anything that she normally does to, survive. And also she's saying that, she didn't have money for a procedure, but he was offering the money for the procedure, but then she was convinced not to. But in any event, she said, she let her son go to the father's house even though he wasn't around. And she said her baby used to come home colicky, sick. She would have to take her son to the hospital and things of that nature, because when the son went to visit his father, Superman, and his girlfriend would give him any type of food and anything and everything to eat when he couldn't eat these things. And she would pack, a note. She would pack the things that he could eat, things that he can't eat, and also pack his food. But they felt like she was being territorial, and also they felt like she was trying to tell him what to do, so they gave him whatever they wanted to give him to eat, and then she had to deal with the consequences when her baby got home. Lord have mercy. Let me tell you, this girl been going through a lot. This is what she says. This is AKA, her story, and she's speaking on the situation. It's one of them situations where you be like, Lord have mercy. Some things that some people go through and you don't even know they be going through that, and they be looking like it's all green, it's all good on the other side. They got a rich man, they got a man in the NFL, the NBA, it's all good and it's all gravy, and it's not. Okay, sometimes a regular degla would be the best thing, a best option for a lot of women. But in any event, she gets into the story of her son coming home, I guess when he was like 2 or 3 years old, and he would come home with different type of behaviors, and his behaviors would be like he would hit himself when a nanny from Superman's house would drop the baby off, and he would just stand in the doorway, hit himself, almost acting like maybe he had some autism. But no, it was a behavior issue, because there were some things going on with her son that may have been inappropriate. And she also states that her son used to touch himself in inappropriate ways when he came home, and she had to deal with that. And basically she's saying her son was in a lot of situations that is inappropriate for a child to be in, and her son was ultimately in danger when he was at Superman house. So that's really hard, to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Because child be on a run. You wouldn't find me or my child. I'm telling you. But in any event, she dealt with the situation the best way that she knew how to deal with the situation. Then she went back to him, and then, they was living together, and she basically talked about abuse, and she talked about being intimate with Superman and the things that he wanted her to do that she wasn't used to, she didn't know anything about, but she felt like since she was immature or she wasn't really experienced, this is what she's supposed to do to please her man, and she was very uncomfortable with it, but she did it anyway. Then she also states that she was physically, put hands on by Superman. She also states that Superman put hands through her son, through her, into like a dresser or drawer or stereo system, things of that nature. And so there was a whole lot going on in her situation where it was very dangerous. And she also states that, she did tell Shawnee O'Neal about all the things that were going on, but, she told Shawnee O'Neal that Superman wants to get back with her, and Shawnee gave her advice, well, do what you think is best for you. And then she was supposed to be on the reality TV show Basketball Wives, and she said at the time her and Superman were together, and he agreed to this reality TV show, and then he turned around and he changed his mind, child. And then on top of that, he tricked her into signing documents where she thought the documents would be about, how much her son would be on TV, just maybe a little contract with her and Superman, because he initially wanted to be on the show, but then he changed his mind. He didn't want to be on the show. Then she met him at the lawyer's office, and they tricked her into signing documents where she could not mention his name or anything until the end of time, till death. And on top of that, her lawyer tricked her into signing them paperwork allegedly. This is all allegedly, and this is all what Royce Reed has spoke on her TikTok, and she states the person is Superman, and her
and didn't really work out so well, did it? Damn. All right, so let's get into it, since we want to talk about child support. It took me over a year to file for child support. Took me over a year because I was trying to not be that person. I don't want his business out there. I also didn't want my business out there. I mean, Orlando hated me, right? So why would I sit there and just say, let's go straight to court? Days born. Absolutely not. So we go to court and we come to a decision in late 2008, right? And the decision was, yes, $13,000 a month. I know y'all are like, $13,000? Oh my God, I don't even get a third of that. I get it. Now, in the state of Florida, they basically state that when you are giving child support, you are basically trying to provide almost the same, not really the same, but at least close to, as much as you can, the same lifestyle. So there's no bias, so there's no favoritism, because as you can see, certain parents will do certain things for certain kids and absolutely nothing for the others. That was our situation. But we haven't even gotten a baby number 2 and baby number 3 that were born in the same year, or baby number 4 and baby number 5 who are also born in the same year. But I digress. So the amount that was agreed upon was actually a third of what I was supposed to get. Why? Because I'm parading around and I'm like, you know what? It's not about the money. I don't want to come across as a gold digger. So yes, I'm just going to take this. And 13 was a lot. Like, for real, it was a lot. I was still working, but I've always worked. I said this before. I've worked since I was 16. So now, obviously, because I'm trying to provide a better lifestyle for my child, I don't want to live in a townhouse anymore. And because I said no to the house that he wanted to buy me, he's upset when he finds out that I'm buying my house in my name, purchased with that lump sum that he's talking about he gave me. If you were paying child support from the beginning, why would you have to pay a lump sum along with it? That was back child support. And it was also to pay all my attorney fees. I had two, one from Palm Beach and one that was here, the one who screwed me over. He had like 4. Y'all know how that works. Celebrities are all these people who are high end, especially a lot of these companies. They get like 10 lawyers on your ass and they just hound you. So when you don't have the money to catch up, what do you have to do? Hire someone else. So that's why I had to. Moving on. My attorney fees during that time were over 6 figures. Yeah, because I kept filing bullshit. Now, if we want to really, really go into it, you know what? Not even if we want to. I'm going to show y'all, because one thing is out that he doesn't know is out, but I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know. I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans. All right, so moving on, I buy a house with that lump sum that included back pay and my attorney fees. Screw me for not going out and buying Gucci and Prada and red bottoms and all this other stuff. If you ever watch me on the show, you know that people used to always talk about the way I dress. They always used to talk about my hair. They did that because I was not spending my money on myself because it wasn't my money. Right? I'm just dancing. And right now, Holy Land is like kind of in between things. So I'm sitting here doing little gigs here and there. And I'm like, how can I make money? What do? I can start a dance company because that's what I do. I'm in entertainment. Right? So that dance studio that he's claimed that I bought, no, I leased a small ass room in a plaza. One of those small rooms when you're walking and you're looking in the windows and it says for lease. It was super small. And I'll post a picture of it in a little bit. I'll post it on my story. But it was a small ass room, y'all. I think the rent was maybe like, and it was a lease. I think the rent was maybe like close to $2,000 a month, but I figured I'd make that back. The company at that time actually was called Diversity. I changed the name to Fantasy because I wanted to kind of change the premise of the company, and I wanted it to be for Black girls that look like me. My goddaughter that saw all that stuff happen at my house, she is part of the reason that I started the company. It's not hard to recount the truth. So, moving on some more. As I'm trying to live my life, and we started dating, we break up, all of a sudden all these lawsuits happen. If you think I'm lying, let's pull up the proof. Because he's very quick to say that he never sued me, and what are you talking about? He gaslights my child all the time, talking about, I never sued your mom, I never did this, what are you talking about? Show me the proof. He was saying that because our case was sealed. You're not really Superman anymore, sir. So even the city of Orlando has given you some kryptonite. Our case is not sealed anymore. So let's go ahead and do this search results of your name. Let's just do your name. And 30 results come up. 30 cases. One is from mother number 2, her paternity case. That's actually the first one comes up. Numbers. Ooh, it's a lot of them. My goodness. Numbers. $14 and $15 are me. So that's 3 cases, right? Now you're probably wondering, oh, that's just 3 cases. No, because within each case is all the other motions and all that stuff that's been filed. So, hey, let's go ahead and you see this one right here that says Royce. Oh, all these others are traffic civil violations because he was constantly pulled over for unlawful speed. And when I spoke on that one time in court, you know, I was chastised. Nobody's perfect. But I don't know anybody that gets 27 speeding tickets in a matter of just a handful of years. That's crazy. That's like more than one a month. Almost. Whew. Anyway, so let's go ahead and click on the one. Let's click on number 15 that says my name, okay? No, let's click on number 15, okay? All right, I know this is a small phone. This is my business phone. I apologize. I probably should have picked up one of the ones that's in my bag, but we'll get to that later. So, here's the case. And I'm going to just go ahead and do this until we get to the bottom so y'all can see where it started. Whew. Y'all see all that? That's court cases that were filed against me. Okay? It starts on October 16th, 2009. Now, whose timeline's not matching up? Whose timeline isn't matching up? This is, again, the time, like I said in my last video, basketball wives. We're shooting this whole, gag order thing that they tricked me into signing. But, hey, that's partially my fault. Trusted my attorney. I get it. Hey, go ahead and, slap me. But I'm going to go ahead and go slow so y'all can see how often, you see that green? That means it's public. That green means it's public. Now, the number one on the docket, if you look and search the records, is with baby mother number 2. And hers is still private, but mine is not. So again, we're starting at October 16th, 2009. And we're going to go ahead and scroll. We have October 23rd, October 27th, October 28th, October 29th. Then we skip a month or so. We go into December 14th, January 5th, January 13th. This is now in 2010, by the way. We then go to May of 2010, May 25th, the day before my brother's birthday, actually. All these were filed that day. Then we have May 26th, my brother's birthday. Another motion was filed. Then we have June 7th. Another motion was filed. Then we have June 8th. Then a notice of hearing. Then we have June 9th, June 10th, June 11th, June 14th, June 18th, June 30th. Ooh, some more. July 16th, September 3rd. Oh my goodness. September 10th, September 13th, September 15th, September 27th, September 30th. This is all 2010. So when y'all are asking me where that money went, that $13K, this is where that money is going. This is also where the majority of my basketball wives' checks went. Because he was fucking TV outside of bouncing a ball. He sucked in interviews. He wanted to be a reality star. Let's just call a spade a spade. Continuing. We're now at October. This is the next year. We're now at a year now. October 4th, October 10th, October 29th, November 8th. And there's a bunch on November 8th. And then November 10th. Mind you, our son's birthday is November 18th, and this is what I'm dealing with. The same person who not one time has ever gotten our son a birthday gift. But he's out here parading birthday parties for other people. PR stunts. Come on, y'all. Pay attention. Now we're at November 12th and November 15th, November 16th, November 18th and November 19th, November 23rd, November 24th, November 28th, November 29th, December 3rd, December 6th. Oh man, December 8th, December 10th, December 13th, December 14th, December 15th, 16th, 23rd. Now let's go into 2011. Y'all want me to keep going? No? I mean, it's going to probably take a while to read all these because this is just the first one I clicked, remember? So I'm just going to go hurry up and scroll. But this last one I'm going to say, we're now in 2011. And it started on, let's see, January 20th of 2011, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and scroll. VOR means viewable on request. Ours is not under that anymore. It's green. It's public. Anyway, so, again, now we're at February 14th. Yes, y'all, Valentine's Day. I had a man. Anyway, we're in 2011. This is February 14th. I'm just going to scroll. I'm going to scroll slow so y'all can see this. These are all notices and hearings and motions. All this stuff. We're still going, y'all. I'm now at May 23rd, 2012. Let's keep going. My finger's getting tired. Now we're at October 23rd, 2012. Let's keep going. Oh, this one finally stops in August of 2014. That's just that one. Now let me go back. Let's click on, which one did I just click? 14 or 15? Let's click on 14. Now here we have this. Okay? This one started. This is a whole nother docket, y'all. This is a whole nother case. Okay? Whole nother one. Let me scroll. Sorry. This one started in January 4th, 2009. And we're going to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. All these are motions. And then we have an order of dismissal. And it was a voluntary dismissal. Okay? And that voluntary dismissal comes from who? Voluntary dismissal. Why are you doing voluntary dismissals? Because clearly you don't have shit. Some of these cases are still open, y'all. But it costs money every single time that you have to respond. Every single time. It also involves attorney fees. And y'all know attorney fees are not cheap. Especially if you have what you feel is a good attorney. We're talking about between $400-$500 an hour. So imagine $400 or $500 an hour having. So that's where the money went, since we want to sit here and get, specific, and we want to talk about exact amounts. That's why you didn't see me on the show like parading around and all these things. I mean, that's not me anyway. I'm not a materialistic person. I am not a person that is defined by wearing somebody else's name across my chest. I'd rather wear my own. So that's just me. That's pretty much all I wanted to address today, because that's what he wanted to address. And also, just to reiterate why I'm doing this, he decided to call my child while he was playing Fortnite a few nights ago. And this is after I told my child, don't block him. Maybe one day he'll change. I have never talked shit about his father publicly or even to him, really ever. And anyone who knows me knows that I would literally stick up for him. There was a day where my child was that kid sitting on the sidewalk waiting on his dad to pull up. There was a day that happened. That day is also the day that I found out that he was in New Jersey with his cousin and Pastor Zachary Timms. I screen grabbed that picture. That next morning, all of a sudden, Pastor Zachary Timms is no longer with us. There's no video surveillance, but there is a picture of who he was with. And then all of a sudden, Superman's Twitter went from having 10,000 tweets to about 10. But I digress. I'll get there later. I'll talk to y'all later. I need to finish, deep conditioning my hair.